My name is Misala, and today I want to be talking to you guys about your business idea. The reason why I picked this topic here is because every time I go for a conference or every time, someone is asking me a question and they're about to start their business, obviously, there's that fear about what if my business idea is not viable? What if it doesn't work out? What if no one wants to buy from me? Um, and we know that it all starts with an idea, right? So it's like, okay, if your business idea is not going to work out, you can't know anyway. And it's all about taking that risk because life is all about taking risk. Yeah. So today I want to talk to you guys about how you can know if your business idea is viable or not. So don't worry, I'm going to save this and you'll be able to watch it. And I probably would share it in the group as well. So if you're not following me on the group, you probably want to. Anyways, okay, so let's get started. Literally everyone is sitting on $1 million business idea. Now I say $1 million, but you can use whatever currency it is. Is it million pound, naira, dollars? Everyone is sitting on a business idea. Now it might just be that it's not for you, like starting a business is not for you, but everybody has that idea that can be profitable, right? So let me tell you guys a story. And this story will be able to relate to the points I'm going to try and make today. So I did a launch at some point. I think it's a long time ago. I did a launch, and copywriting is never one of my strengths. Like I had to learn how to do it, but it's not something I enjoy doing. So if I ever have to write a sales copy for a page or anything for my business, I tend to outsource that part of the business out. But this time around, I decided to do it myself. I wrote a sales page and I, ran a challenge, did the launch and whatnot. And then literally I got someone to sign up. Yeah. And then she's like, I sent her the sales page. She jumped on the call with me, sent her the sales page, and she replied me back with a gazillion number of questions. She's like, she wants to know how often she would get access to me, what kind of material she would get. There were a lot of questions that my normal human nature immediately was to feel really terrible. I felt really bad actually. I was like, okay, no, this is not going well. I'm not doing it right. It's not going well. So I started feeling bad for myself. I'm like, no, I shouldn't do this, right? But then I had to go back, like, after some time, I took some time back to look at those questions. And really, yeah, anybody that is serious about taking the time to commit and doing the work and trying to grow their business, and if your business idea might not be like my business, anyone who has a problem and is willing to do anything to get themselves out of that problem and is looking for a solution basically would require to know those kind of questions, those basic questions. And I think the mistake we make in our heads is that we feel like we're communicating with these people, but we're not communicating with them, your target audience. You're just probably speaking your language, forgetting the fact that these people do not know what you know, right? So you have that tendency to assume that because you've been studying this thing every day, you're perfect at it. You assume that people know what you know, if that makes any sense. So, anyways, I literally had to go back and then, answer those questions, tweak my sales page, and put in this ideal like critical information on there on my sales page. And we made a sale, right? So that's like the silver lining. We made a sale, but I learned a lesson, and it's all about communication. So there are two ways I want you to just these are just basic ways for you to understand that your idea, your business idea is viable. The first one is to stop listening to naysayers. Now, I say this because there are probably 1,001 reasons why your business idea would not work out, but there are also 1,001 reasons why your business idea would work. The truth about the matter is you don't know. I don't know, you don't know, because nobody can tell tomorrow, right? So I don't know. But all you can do is, which goes takes me to my second point, all you can do is listen to your target audience, right? If you have decided that you want to help people, I was going to say want to help people lose weight, but that's like my typical example every time. If you have decided that you want to help people learn how to bake cakes or learn how to, make cookies or something, right? Listen to those people. When you start listening to them, one thing you would realize is a common problem will start popping up because of the kind of people that you're listening to. A common problem will start popping up, and that's when you start narrowing down your audience. So you probably be like, okay, I love baking. I want to teach people how to bake. But when you speak to people, they start telling you, okay, I just want to learn how to make cookies, or I just want to learn how to make bake a cake. And the same goes for weight loss as well. Weight loss is like a massive term, and you're like, okay, what is it that you want to help them to do? I want to help you to lose weight. How? Most people will be like, okay, I've got my fitness side of things on lockdown, but I probably need help with nutrition. Or they'll be like, they've got the nutrition part on lockdown, but they need help with fitness. And at that point, because you're listening to them, you begin to understand what exactly the problem is that they're facing, right? Because if you sit down within the comfort of your home and you just assume that people want to lose weight, it's too broad, it's too generic. And if I just tell you as your coach and be like, okay, it's too broad, it's too generic, why don't you narrow it down? You cannot just sit down and narrow it down without actually speaking to them and understanding their perspective, understanding what the actual problem is and how you can help them solve that problem. Right. So literally I have given you two ideas. You speak to them. Then the third point I'm going to make is, how do you speak to them? Now, the focus here is for online businesses, right? How do you speak to your target market if you have an online business? We are on Facebook. If you're watching this, you probably are on some sort of social media. Yeah, figure out where they are. Like, if they are into baking, you would probably know where, like big pages where you have that have a large audience with regards to baking. Now, I'm not saying you should go on there and spam people. I want you to go on there and serve and be on the lookout, right? This is how you're speaking to them. There's so many ways. Technology has made it so simple and so easy for us to communicate with our ideal target audience. Go on Amazon, go on forums, go on forums and type in your keyword plus forums and listen to what the common problems are. And that's the way you can, focus and narrow down your audience. Now, don't get me wrong, because someone like my sister will be like, oh, why do I need to narrow down my business? Because I love this and I want to do it. You are not narrowing down your business, you're narrowing down your audience. It's easier for you to start small and then you spread, right? It's just like a funnel. You start small and then you spread. Probably not a funnel, because the funnel goes this way. But you get what I mean. Okay. Anyways, so I hope that you should be able to determine if your idea is viable. And one thing I would say as I try to wrap up is the fact that there is no such thing as saturation. If you cannot narrow down your business idea, then that's when you would think everywhere is saturated. And this is why, right? This is why you would think everywhere is saturated, because you're probably thinking about just weight loss. There's so many aspects to weight loss. How are you going to narrow down your target audience and focus on one thing? And this is how you would make it. This is how people scale their businesses in 6 months, in 12 months, in 2 years, right? Figure out how you're going to narrow down your audience, and do not allow saturation to hold you back, because there's no such thing as that. No such thing as saturation. Just listen, speak to them, and listen effectively. It's about communication. Okay, so are you ready to get started? I do have a free ebook for you guys, and I'm going to put the link just down here now. And it's just a step-by-step guide on how you can launch your online business, right? Launch your six-figure online business. That's the link there in the comment section. Click that link and get yourself, right? Get yourself I lost my chain of thoughts there. Get yourself, I was going to say get yourself educated, but that's not the right word. Click that link there and get yourself informed. Know what you need to do to get started, and get started, because the key thing is to start. And I will end it with this. It is never perfect the first time. It's probably not going to be perfect the second or the third time either. But all you need to do is get started. Your ideal clients are not looking for perfection, they are looking for a solution to their problems. So, why are you keeping your ideal audience waiting? Because you have not gotten over the fear just yet. You need to get over the fear, get started, and launch your business. Okay? I'll see you guys. Bye.